All right, let's dive into a question that's been popping up everywhere, from think tanks to dinner tables. We're talking about the rise of India. So is it true? Is India kind of under the radar becoming the world's next superpower? It's a huge question, I know, but when you look at what's been happening lately, you have to ask. India isn't just a bystander anymore. It's stepping right into the center of the ring, and it's making some seriously big moves. I mean, take its recent presidency of the G20. This wasn't just them hosting a party. No way. India was setting the agenda for the world's biggest economies and really using that platform to push for major global change. But their ambition? It's not just limited to planet Earth. That's right. They just landed a spacecraft on the moon. With their Chandrayaan-3 mission, India became only the fourth country in history to pull that off. That's not just cool, it's a massive technological flex. And you better believe that kind of capability is getting noticed. The big global players, especially the United States, are actively working to get closer to India. They see it as an absolutely critical partner on the world stage. Okay, so let's really unpack this. Let's dig into how India is shaking up the world order, and we'll start with its single greatest advantage. You know that old saying in real estate, location, location, location? Well, in geopolitics, it is the absolute truth. And for India, its spot on the map isn't just a place, it's a massive source of power. See, India is parked right in the heart of Asia, watching over the Indian Ocean. And this isn't just any ocean, it is a global superhighway for trade. Just think about it. Nearly half of everything the world buys and sells, and a huge chunk of all the energy supplies, sail right through these waters. If you can influence the Indian Ocean, you have your hand on the pulse of the global economy. And this is where India's strategy gets really clever, kind of like a diplomatic tightrope walk. On one side, you've got India as a key member of the Quad, with the US, Japan, and Australia, a group that's pretty much designed to counterbalance China. But then, on the other side, it's a founding member of BRICS+, working right alongside China and Russia to build up developing economies. Being a critical player in both of these competing groups, that gives India incredible leverage. It doesn't have to pick a team. It gets to play its own game. So a great location is one thing, but to be a real heavyweight on the world stage, you need the muscle to back it up. We're talking money and military. And wow, is India bulking up? As of right now, India is the fifth largest economy on the planet. It just leapfrogged the UK, its former colonial ruler. I mean, that alone is a huge milestone. But here's the kicker. The most important part isn't where they are today, it's the incredible speed they're moving at. And this chart really tells that story. By 2030, the US and China are still expected to be the top two. No surprise there. But look at India. The forecast shows it becoming the clear, undisputed #3 economy in the world. This is a meteoric rise. So what's the rocket fuel behind this growth? Well, it's a few big things. First, this China plus one strategy. Global companies are realizing, hey, maybe we shouldn't have all our eggs in one basket. And India is becoming that essential plus one. It's turning into a manufacturing powerhouse for everything from iPhones to electric cars. Then there's their own tech. Their UPI instant payment system is so good that other countries, from Singapore to France, are literally adopting it. And to top it all off, they're signing new trade deals left and right. Of course, when your economy is booming and you have global interests to look after, what do? You build up your military. India is now the third biggest spender on defense in the world. Only the US and China spend more. That sends a pretty clear message, doesn't it? And they aren't just throwing cash around. There's a real deliberate strategy here. Step 1, buy some of the best advanced tech from abroad, like Russian S-400 missile systems and French fighter jets. But step 2, and this is so important, is a huge push to start building their own advanced gear under the Make in India program. Step 3, beef up the Navy to protect those sea lanes we talked about. And finally, step 4, they're being a responsible global citizen, consistently one of the top contributors to UN peacekeeping missions. But you know, being a superpower isn't just about having the biggest economy or the most tanks. Real, lasting influence comes from culture, from ideas, from what experts call soft power. And this is an area where India is absolutely shining. A huge piece of this is the Indian diaspora. We're talking about a global network of over 30 million people of Indian origin living all over the world. And they aren't just living there. They are becoming a powerful force, shaping business, culture, and even politics in some of the most important Western nations, like the US, the UK, and Canada. And then you've got the cultural exports everyone recognizes.
Bollywood films have massive audiences in places you might not even expect, from Africa to Latin America. And wellness practices like yoga and Ayurveda, they're practically mainstream everywhere now. All of this adds up, giving India the diplomatic credibility to position itself as a leader for the developing world.
And this leadership role isn't just for show. Take the G20 presidency again. India used its turn in the spotlight to really go to bat for the global south. It pushed hard for tangible things like debt relief and climate finance. For a lot of developing countries, India's starting to look like a powerful friend who actually understands their problems. So, we've covered the geography, the economy, the military, and the culture. But the real masterstroke, the thing that ties this all together, is India's incredible ability to perform a great balancing act on the world stage. Just check out this juggling act. India is building a deep strategic partnership with the US on things like defense technology. At the exact same time, it's maintaining its old-school defense and energy relationship with Russia. With China, its biggest rival, they have tense clashes at the border, and yet they do over $100 billion in trade every year. It manages to have deep ties with both Israel and the Arab nations. It's truly incredible. This isn't about picking a side, it's about being your own side. And that's really the bottom line here. In the grand chessboard of global politics, India has fundamentally changed its role. It's no longer a pawn being moved around by other powers. It's becoming a kingmaker, an independent force that's shaping the entire game. Which brings us to the final huge question. The strategy is brilliant, no doubt, but it's also incredibly difficult. Juggling the competing interests of the US, Russia, and China all at once is a high-wire act with no safety net. So the real question is, can India maintain this delicate balance as it gets even more powerful? The answer to that is going to define what the world looks like for a long, long time.